There we are, and that's that.
That was very official.
Wasn't it? So we have got Charlotte, who is our co-founder, and also Gaia, who's our head of education. And as we all know, we released Pure Foundation officially on Friday. And if you are in the community, you had early access on Thursday. Give me a hands up or react with a hands up if you managed to bag yours. Oh, that's fab. The way we're going to do it today as well is it's going to be a bit like a Q&A style Zoom today. So if you do have any questions, I ask if you could pop your hands up on a reaction, just so we can give everyone a chance to be able to speak. I'll keep an eye on everyone, make sure that everyone's getting their questions answered. If you want to pop them in the chat, pop them in the chat as well. I'll be keeping an eye on that and we'll get to them as and when. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass it over to our wonderful Charlotte and Gaia. And yeah, really excited to have them all with us this evening.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So thank you so much for...
You don't move over. My arms are going to be full, so would you be able to bring the sweet and brush upstairs for me, please?
So I am really, really excited. And yeah, basically just wanted to have just a nice little general chat with you guys. If there's anything that, you know, you wanted to ask us in regards to anything, basically, we're here to just, yeah, answer whatever you want, basically, whether it's Pure Foundation or, you know, and well, anything. So go for it.
Your sound has gone very quiet, Charles.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Do you want me to? I'm going to get Larry to sort it because I am not tech savvy.
He's our IT technician today. Was it quiet for you as well, Larry?
Yeah, it was slightly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, people are struggling in the chat, it says.
There we go. Is that better? Can everyone hear me better now?
Still quite quiet, to be honest, not gonna lie. I want to be like, yeah, it's better, but
How's that better?
yeah, perfect.
Perfect. Wonderful. There we go.
It is good now.
Fantastic. There we go. See, I would never have been able to do that on my own. So this is why I came over to the warehouse. I thought I can't do Zoom on my own. I'm just not a tech savvy. But yeah, I was just saying, if no one managed to hear me before, thank you for having us. I've not done the business mastery before, so I'm very, very excited. And yeah, myself and Guy are just here to answer whatever questions you've got going on, whether it's regarding, you know, Pure Foundation that we just launched or anything else. We are here at your mercy today.
Now that it's sorted, people are saying it's echoing. Oh no.
Oh God, there was echoing there.
Oh,
Right.
just technical hitches at the beginning, isn't there? Typical.
There it is. I'm going to put mute and everyone else is pretty much muted, which is absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, is that better now, guys? Can everyone, is that nice and smooth?
No. It might just be because you both are mic'd up. I don't know whether you want to share a computer screen or something, maybe.
That might be good to do. Go on then. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, sure.
Well, come over to me. Put your chair over. We're gonna get cozy now.
Right, so how do I end this now? So put me on mute. Put me on mute.
Stand by.
There we are. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
Great. Okay.
Crikey.
Right, we're shows on the road. Has anyone in particular got any questions? Yeah, Charlotte, I completely agree. Zoom really is a nightmare sometimes.
Zoom tries, but Zoom does fail.
Zoom is great when Zoom wants to Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom is not Zooming today, though.
There we are. Lovely. Everyone hear us completely clearly now. Fabulous. Okay. Has anyone got sort of any questions about Pure Foundation, whether it's application, whether it's, we get lots of questions about whether you need a base with it. So I will pass it over to, I'm gonna have to pin myself now because we're both on here. Right, there we go. Add pin. There we are. There we go.
Fabulous.
Any questions from anyone? You're currently applying SAS. I love it.
Blue. It's like, what is going on here? Yeah, we'll just get rid of the blue. It's fine.
Oh, Damon, you crack me up.
Absolutely brilliant.
Not a question, but a little bit of Damon sass is always welcome.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if you haven't ordered SAS needs to be in your basket like right now.
Sound is absolutely gorgeous. And actually, SAS was in the top 3. So it
Yeah.
was Bonnie, SAS, and I want to say Dainty were the ones that were in the top 3 sellers, which you could have put all your money on that. Libya's asked, can I use Pure Foundation for the Swift tips instead of clear?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, absolutely. I have always used Clue with mine, because that was kind of what we started with, but you know, absolutely fine to use a coloured Pure Foundation as well. Absolutely.
definitely. Sometimes will be quite effective on like either a shorter Swift tip, or you know, if you want the Swift tips to have like a clear tip as well. Like, so you can do like jelly on the tip and then like have like a pink underneath as the base, if you follow. So like the juicy gels would be amazing, like if you did like a tinted Pure Foundation with the Swift tips, and then went in with the juicy gels to do like a sheer like free edge, if that makes any sense.
That would be absolutely stunning. I also think so, if you're doing a longer Swift tip and you're doing a French, for example, on somebody that does have like quite a short nail bed, it can almost like blur it slightly as well, so you haven't got that like real like see where the natural nail ends. So at least you're using, you know, that colour Pure Foundation, drag it up the Swift tip, and yeah, it'll blend it so much nicer then as well.
Yeah, and for ombres as well, like baby boomer nails.
Perfect. And then, oh, Elisa said, book in Zoom, but I'm finding I'm getting lifting at the ends.
At
Go
the
for
ends,
it.
as in your free edge, I'm presuming. If it's at the free edge, just make sure that you are capping. Also, make sure that when you're doing your prep, bringing that acetone right over and actually under the free edge as well. Just make sure. Oh, we've got babies in the background. Just to make sure that obviously if there are any oils sort of like underneath that free edge, you're cleaning all of that out as well, just to make sure that, you know, there's nothing there that's going to stop the gel from adhering to the tips.
Yeah, it's also really important to dehydrate the nail before you etch the nail to stop any oils or dirt or debris from being embedded in those grooves. Because the goal of etching is to create texture. And if there's already oils and debris on the nail, and we start creating that texture, all of those oils or makeup or whatever it might be will become embedded into the texture that you're creating.
Yeah.
So if you make sure that you're dehydrating and cleansing that nail before you etch, that will make a big difference as well.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that we've got in our sort of like prep and well, just our manuals, our way of doing, you know, how we prep the nails is different to a lot of other brands out there. That is the very first step that we like to say is, you know, after you've sanitized, go in with your dehydrating, and just start on that pure clean surface. Pure clean.
Pure clean.
Yeah,
You'll see what we did there.
not intentional, but
Oh,
Brilliant.
Maddie, now this is a question actually, that will there be more colours in the future?
You don't want to toast, you favorite.
Yes, there will be. I originally started with 10 Pure Foundation colours, and Mike was like, we need more. So as Mike always is. So yeah, we thought, right, well, we'll give you guys a really good sort of like starting point. And we're just gonna grow from there, basically. We sort of took, you know, the best selling like pure build shades, and we've kind of like replicated a few of those. But we also didn't want to just do like for like on everything, because you know, it's nice to have a little bit of variety. So yeah, we'll grow and we'll keep expanding the Pure Foundation range for definite. Yeah.
Perfect. And we've got a question here. can you put, now this has actually been asked a couple of times. I know I've seen it in the community quite a lot as well. Is Ella has asked, can you put pure foundation on and then go in with a layer of pure build, or is that a bad idea?
So my advice is always to keep products with products. So you can, yes, but it isn't like the absolute, like you're not going to have the best possible outcome necessarily. So if you've got a client that has specific, troubleshooting issues that you get all the time, it might just be better to stick with pure foundation being used as a builder and a base. And then when you're using pure build, you're using a rubber base or complete base along with pure build, which is what it's intended for. It's how it's been designed to be used. You definitely can get away with using like a clear pure foundation as a base, but my personal recommendation would be to stick product with product. So pure foundation with pure foundation and pure build with its intended base coats. And that's going to give you the best results, I think.
Perfect. And there's another question actually, which probably collates quite well with that answer, is what length is pure foundation better for? And the same with
They're probably
gel?
burning a candle at both ends.
I didn't catch the last bit of that, sorry.
Sorry. I thought you were looking at me to finish and I was thinking, you can answer. But no, the question was, what length is pure foundation better for the same with builder gel? So what length or would you use on the nail? Would you use a pure foundation, and at what time would you then move over to builder gel?
I think it's a tricky one because we're very much, and for those who might sort of be new to the brand, it's very much not a one size fits all for everybody. So I could very easily say, oh, pure build's great for, X centimeter worth of freight, but it will work with some, it will not work with others, to be completely honest with you.
There's so many sort of like factors as
There's a
well,
lot
like
of
external
that.
factors,
Yeah.
what they're actually using the nails for. Are they a very handsy
Are
person?
there jobs? Yeah, absolutely. So this is where our prescriptive manicures come into play. Does anybody or has anybody seen the blog that we've done on prescriptive manicures? Some yes, some no. It's such a mixed bag when I speak to you guys. But essentially it's not just Damon's like, yeah. It's a very mixed bag. So some people have heard about it, some people haven't, but HONA is a prescriptive manicure brand. And what that means is that when we are having our consultations with our clients, we're diagnosing their nail type. So have they got flexible nails? Are they brittle? Are they bendy? Are they dry? Are they oily? And we're kind of diagnosing their nails, much like an esthetician would do when they're looking at your skin. They would find out whether you've got oily skin, dry skin, acne-prone skin. And then they would give you your treatment based on what your skin type is. And we're treating nails in a very similar way. In that slapping a builder on just isn't for everyone, especially when you're working with a hypoallergenic brand as well, because you're not depending on these adhesive ingredients that are in other brands potentially. So we're basically looking at every single nail individually, and then we're determining what that best product is going to be for them. Lifestyle, like Charles said, what are they doing with their hands? Are they heavy-handed? Are they, the best clients ever that look after their nails? It all depends. But we've got a very helpful blog on the Knowledge Hub on the website, which breaks down all of the different nail types and then what we recommend for those nail types. So I would absolutely recommend having a look at that one. It's a very long answer, but there is a short way of answering it.
I don't even know that I can add anything more to that. So, but yeah, perfect. Like Gaia said, it's not one size fits all. I think you'll see now a lot of brands going into the whole sort of prescriptive manicure side of things. I think clients in particular as well, they're expecting so much more from us as nail techs now as well. We do pride ourselves on our education side of things, and we like to really sort of delve deep into the ingredients and the prescriptive manicure side of things, like what you should be looking for and how you're going to use your products going forward. So yeah,
absolutely.
And
Morgan's
now,
put this in the chat.
sorry, Gaia.
Sorry.
I'm going through the chat, and
I was just saying, Morgan's put the link for the blog for anybody that wants it.
oh,
perfect.
fab.
Well done,
Fab,
Morgan.
fab, fab, fab.
Yeah, it's really worth like a read, guys, because it's knowledge is power.
Absolutely. It's all kind of like anyone that gets a one-to-one, I always recommend that they start using this blog as part of their consultation.
Mm.
And we might have something cool coming to the website where you can kind of like, I don't want to give away too much until it's actually happening, but we might have something on the website coming that will make it very easy for you to sort of diagnose your clients and use something on the website part of your consultation to help you. So
It's one of those, it's like, cannot confirm nor deny if this is
Yeah.
going to be happening. It might be, it might not be.
if Mike was here, he probably would just be like, this Mike's giving me the thumbs up.
Another question here. It says, defo me issue, but I really struggle with product leaking into my cuticles and sidewalls. I work my bead down to the center of the nail, turn it upside down, and then pull the product to the sidewalls and cuticle area, but I'm struggling with having to clean up afterwards. Is there any tips I can try?
So I say there is no amount of times that is like, bad for flipping your hand. Sometimes I'll flip them 3, 4, 5 times, and it just depends on, how much product you're working with. If it's a longer nail, obviously you're going to need more product. So like when we're, doing our training, we do say work, steady, but quite quickly, because it is a little bit thinner in viscosity. So yeah, just gravity is your best friend. So the moment you flip that hand upside down, I was going to say the nail then, but not just the nail, whole hand, it's just going to pull that product down, and it's going to pull it away from those side walls. If it's leaking into the cuticle, just angle your hand slightly, because just remember, if you're tipping it forward, that product is going to fall forward away from the cuticle. Once you sort of flip it back up, then you can use your liner brush and just sort of manipulate it ever so slightly. But if you're still struggling quite a bit, try using a little bit less product, and then still continue to try and do your little flips and see how you get on with that.
Yeah, definitely. And skip the slip. You don't need a slip layer with HONA. So we do something called a paper layer, which is named because it's a paper thin layer of whatever product it is that you're going in with before you do your structure layer. So pure foundation, for example, you would do your paper layer, cure it for 60 seconds, and then go in with your structure layer. You definitely don't need a slip layer. Some people who work super speedily can get along with a slip layer just fine, but you don't need one, especially in this heat when it's absolutely sweltering. Get yourself a mini fridge as well. Get yourself a mini fridge for your builder gels. People do that, and it's such a good hack. But yeah, if you have a slip layer, it moves a lot quicker. And then of course, like Charles said, if you're kind of in doubt, if you think it's going to flood or you think something might happen, just quickly turn the hand upside down, and it's going to move that product away from the no-no zones.
Perfect. A lot of times as well, I've seen in the community is people asking the difference between a slip layer and a paper layer. A slip layer is a non-cured layer of the product, and a paper layer is a cured version of the product. So paper layer, obviously, we recommend because we always want to make sure the products are fully cured. That's a question that we've had quite a lot because lots of brands teach different ways. So just to clarify that one for everyone as well. And I'm just on to the next question. I'm about to change over from another brand to HONA. I'm wondering what the difference is between Pure Foundation and Pure Build.
I think we recently just put
A blog.
We have.
Yes.
Again,
with
the blog.
Blog for everything.
Yeah. So, but to be honest, I think like Mel tries to get a blog up about everything because it's just your little Bible is perfect. But yeah, there's a really good blog up about the difference between Pure Build and Pure Foundation. As Gaia sort of mentioned earlier, we are going, far more into this prescriptive manicure side of things. Don't feel that, just because Pure Foundation is a brand new product that we've launched, that's just going to be your replacement now for Pure Build. It's not sort of designed to work that way. You will have clients that are perfect with Pure Builds. So in my opinion, why do you want to change? but then you'll have those clients that, you know, you may find, right, okay, either I'm getting constant cracking or like lifting at the free edge, those troublesome clients that sort of keep coming back with little, you know, like niggly bits. So try your pure foundation with that. So basically the main difference is we've created pure foundation as like your hybrid gel. It's kind of like your universal gel. It's got the flex of a rubber base, but like the strength of the builder, basically. So it's kind of like marrying the two together. And I find for me personally, like I have really, really bendy nails and I'm very tough on them. So pure foundation for me is great. I still feel like I can actually flex my nails, but they stay so much better for me personally. But yeah, there are clients that I'm just going to keep on Pure World because they have no issues with it whatsoever.
Yeah, it's definitely the flexibility because I'm the same. I've got really, really, really bendy nails. So if my nail gets kind of like, and it does get smashed up against things because I'm not a very good client to myself. I'm rubbish with my own
We're
nails.
always the worst though, aren't we?
know.
I'm always like, do as I say, not as I do.
I do not practice what I preach in any way, shape, or form. Apart from cuticle oil, I'm pretty good with that. But yeah, I can literally like, I'm wearing pure foundation now, and I can, not that it's recommended, but I can bend like the free edge of my nail right down and it just springs back up. I don't know if you can see that at all, but if it was pure build, it would be much more susceptible to cracking. So pure build is really suitable for people that have got kind of like sturdier nails, less flex, naturally maybe sort of drier and more brittle nails. And then people who have kind of like bendier nails, sometimes oilier nails, are going to be great with pure foundation. Like I said, the prescriptive manicure blog goes into all of those different nail types and what we recommend for them. But like Shell said, if you've got someone that's great with pure build, keep them on pure build because that's obviously what their nails love. And if you've got a problem client that's coming back, maybe they've got those bendy nails that myself and Shell have that need that flexibility to go with that.
Perfect. Now, this is a pure foundation color question. Sammy, I knew this was going to be you. How did I just know? Will you get a nice, sexy red pure foundation?
So the colors of your pure foundation, if we're going into talking about sort of like, you know, opaque colors, that's where we can sometimes run into a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of a little bit of not a danger zone, but like an iffy zone, only because the more pigment that you actually add to any sort of builder gel, the light actually has to penetrate a lot sort of harder to penetrate it through and cure the whole gel itself. So potentially we could look at doing something like that, but it wouldn't be, I would say, completely, you know, that really strong, powerful, like again, I'm talking about colors now, powerful red, just like you wouldn't do, you know, like a black or anything like that, because those really strong pigments a lot harder to sort of cure when they've got thickness to them. So, you know, we could look at doing some other colors like that, but it would still, I think, have a teeny bit of like sheerness to it, I suppose. Like we've obviously got some of the pure foundations that are opaque, but because they're a lighter pigment, it's still easy to get through those pigments there.
Yeah, it's always a safety priority with HONA, and cure thickness is something that's very much looked into before any colours are selected, to make sure that, you know, you're with pure foundation or pure build, you're always going to be adding a structure layer, and it's really important that that layer is able to cure all the way through to the base layer. And the more pigment you have, especially when it's black pigment and white pigment, which is some of the strongest pigment, and red pigment as well, the harder it is for the UV LED light to penetrate that and cure it properly. So it, like Charles said, it would be more of a sheer, a slinky sheer rather than
a slinky red.
And this again, this sort of question, well, it's more of an idea from Maddie. Is you should bring out some color pure foundation other than the nude and pinky. Those answers sort of collate for that. idea, absolutely. And Amelia's got a question. Do you think that as Pure Foundation takes off, you will eventually discontinue a lot of Pure builds?
I don't think so. No, like I was sort of saying earlier, you do have clients that are diehard, well, clients and nail techs that are diehard pure build lovers. I myself am one of them, and I would be devastated if we didn't have pure build anymore. But that's exactly what we were saying earlier. Is Pure Foundation isn't that one fits all. You are going to still find that people love the pure builds, and pure build works for them. So yeah, we just like to expand and keep growing.
We love options.
Yeah.
We just love options.
Definitely. The more options, the better.
And Maddie said again, all my clients are loving Pure Foundation. The retention is incredible. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. We've had so much positive feedback as well, because obviously, as you all know, what month is it? February?
February.
February,
Yeah,
when we
did everything.
yeah, we had Angel to begin with. And now I've got 23 messages in here, so I'm probably going to find this. It might come along at some point, but we haven't got Angel as a shade. Hence going back to what Charlotte said earlier, is that we wanted more of a range. So yeah, but even when we first brought out the pure build, and we had it as almost like a trial. And if you were lucky enough to have it gifted in your parcel, you would have tried it as well. Even since then, we've taken every single bit of feedback on board and come to the date of last Friday where we released the whole thing, and hopefully got down to a T. And we've had such great feedback since, which has been incredible.
Yeah.
And
I kind of loved how we did this launch as well. I've always said, you guys, like the community, are who we listen to. We really appreciate everyone's feedback. And one of the points, well, we had a couple of little pointers that we were able to then tweak and work on. And we genuinely do think now that this product is just chef's kiss.
I agree. I just totally. And we've got
product for my nails, so I'm obsessed, absolutely obsessed.
And what I like as well is the shimmers. I think a lot of people, well, definitely SAS. Thank you, Damon, for doing like the dreamiest of content for SAS. I think
I could watch that video
over and over again. When you have
like an M&S advert, wasn't it? Yeah. I need it. And I'm not even I don't even do glitter on my nails, but I was like, I just need it just for that video.
It was the equivalent to a J'adore perfume advert.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just so satisfying. It was beautiful, and it just put the product in its limelight, really. And well, everyone, you saw how many comments and everything. Everyone just was like, oh gosh. Oh, it is gorgeous. And then we've got a couple of questions here actually. When do you advise your client to come back for the infill is your first question.
I would say 3 weeks preferably. They go longer than 3 weeks because they're naughty, but I always say come back every 3 weeks for an infill, and then we do like a full removal every 2 to 3 appointments.
Yeah, I would say if they go in 4 weeks or longer, I would just do a complete removal anyway. Just because of obviously where the apex is then grown out to, you kind of going to be wasting your time by the time you sort of finish rebalancing everything. And it pure build and pure foundation soak off like a dream, so it's, if anything, going to be quicker if you just do that full removal if they are going longer between appointments.
Perfect. And does an infill include restructure and rebalance, as I've been doing this and it takes 2.5 hours?
Again, it depends on how long they're going between. So, and the growth of their natural nail anyway, because I've got some clients that will come back, 2 weeks later and they've barely got any growth whatsoever. So in that case, I'm not having to do a lot of, restructuring, rebalancing, because in all honesty, there's not that much that needs doing. By the time you actually sort of take down your bulk and everything and, do your infill, it kind of rebalances itself anyway. But yeah, what was the other question then?
And the last question then, is it wise to provide infill after 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we've sort of covered that one. Yeah.
Perfect.
And timings are, you know, don't stress too much, because I could see at the very top there you said that, you know, you've just started out. I think my first couple of sets of nails were taking me about 4 hours. So honestly, what's
Just
that?
think of it this way, that your client is going to be sat in your chair being pampered for longer for the same price.
Exactly.
Like, no one's ever got a complaint about that.
No, no.
An extra hour away from the family, the husband, whoever's like,
Hey, oh,
excellent.
please.
So don't sweat it, and your clients are going to understand that you're just starting out as well. But you know, as even if you start to get speedier, they'll end up asking you to do all kinds of crazy nail art and stuff like that, and you'll be
Yeah,
there
so it'll end up taking me that
hours
long
anyway. So don't worry about it. It's not about how long you're doing it. You don't need to be quicker.
Perfection takes time.
It does.
Oh, this is an interesting one, actually, this next one. It's maybe not a product question, but is there going to be an education program in the Netherlands? I'm a certified nail tech, but I would love education with the products.
I'll leave that in Gaia's court, I think.
I like froze, but I could hear you passing the buck to me, Charles. Yes, yes, as in yes, we're looking into it, not yes as in yes, absolutely. We are doing an online system of sorts, which is going to be pretty spectacular. And we are looking into just how many locations we can get this to be available in. So watch this space, it won't be long.
Cannot confirm nor deny again.
I plead the fifth.
I feel like sometimes, because people are so used to us telling all of our secrets, that question was quite one was a bit like going into the dark with it, like, is there something happening, is there not?
Yeah.
But we are renowned for sharing all of our secrets, I have to say.
Absolutely. I know. I think Mike started it off and everyone else has just sort of taken a leaf out of his book.
It's like we're all very secretive, and now Mike's kind of like he opens the floodgates, and I'm like, I think I can tell you. It's fine.
Oh, and talking of Mike, actually, guys, now that there's quite a lot of you on here, Mike has been extremely generous once again. After this live has ended, between the end of the live and midnight, when you place an order, we will gift you a free gel polish. So I know
£20.
the £20 minimum
£20
spend.
minimum
Sorry, I
spend.
forgot that one out. The
Yeah.
£20 minimum spend on the website. So between the time that the live ends and midnight, £20 plus, and you will get a free gel polish.
Yeah, I think he said just put in the notes free gel polish. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, just put in the notes free gel polish, and we'll give you a free gel polish. We did it a couple of weeks on the live, and it's just really lovely to be able to do that for you all. As number one, like, it's almost like a thank you really for everyone for joining us, because I feel like everyone who is on this live right now is, you all give us so much love and support, and we love that you want to join us and share the evening with us, really. But yeah, so
Yeah, so treat yourself to a
Treat
new
yourself.
foundation, and you can have a new gel polish as well. Why not?
and okay, next we've got, oh, Sarah folks have said it, always direct new HONA text to the blog, and also to Charlotte's build a video on her Instagram,
Oh,
Beauty28.
Do you know what? I feel like that was so long ago that I did that video. I do need to do an updated version, because there was a lot of waffle in that at the very start. But no, I do still get a lot of people, you know, forward me that video and say, oh, I watched this and it really helped. I think because I was just, you know, doing it on one of the girls that, you know, works for me, it was just very chilled, relaxed, that you could just sort of see it in real time as to like my prep and how I applied and everything like that. So you can see it being done physically, rather than like just on one finger on me, you know, you could see it on a client basically. So yeah.
It's quite a nice nail tech point of view, actually, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's like a real point of view,
Mm.
and it's always good to have that. I love a point of view video, because you almost feel like it's like being in the experience as well.
Mm.
And we've got another question here. Would HONA ever make pre-made consultations forms for nail techs to buy? We've spoken about this in a meeting, haven't we? We've spoken about consultation forms.
Yeah, it's been recommended. I'm sure it's probably on Sarah's never-ending list of things to look at. Bless her heart. It's probably on there somewhere, but yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, I'll make a note of that actually. I think it's
It is a good idea. It is a fab idea. And we've got Gemma said, I love flash curing with the Swift tip lamp as soon as I'm happy with the structure.
Yeah.
What a way to use the Swift tips lamp in another aspect. Yeah.
perfect.
Absolutely.
Oh, another one that we've got here. When will your training be online and will your training be insurable? I am already insured, but just asking. I'm eager to learn the HONA way.
It's being created at the moment by, me sweating behind a computer trying to get it sorted out. We don't have a specific time scale, but this year.
Yeah, and we're ABT accredited as well, so yeah.
Yes, all of it will be, all of our in-person courses are ABT accredited. All of our online courses will be ABT accredited as well.
This is actually an interesting one because we've just done content on this. Morgan and Charlotte, you did videos on heat spikes last week. Or was it the week before? Time's flying anyway. We're having so much fun. But the question is, what is a heat spike?
Chemical reaction, basically. Just to put it bluntly, so it's the polymerization process. So it's basically where the UV LED lights are hitting the gel and basically curing that. So obviously everything can depend on how you feel a heat spike as well. So it could depend on the natural nails, whether they're in a healthy condition. Obviously, if they're a little bit damaged, a little bit thinner, more brittle, you are going to feel that chemical reaction that little bit more, rather than if they're like nice, strong, healthy nails. You will feel it more if there is a higher pigment to the gel as well. So this only sort of is relevant to like builder gels, I would say. You don't get it with coloured just gel polish, but builder gels in particular, because obviously you've got the thickness that you've got to work with as well. So obviously, again, the thicker that you're applying that builder gel, the more it's got to penetrate and get it sort of cured in a quicker time as well. So that was one of the things that we changed with Pure Foundation, actually, was the speed of the polymerization process, because a few people were finding heat spike a little bit with the first sort of tweak of the formula that we had. So yeah, we slowed that process down ever so slightly for the formula that you've all got now. Just again, for client comfort, it's nothing to be scared of. It is literally just a chemical reaction taking place. And there's, like Larry was saying in the video that we put up on, was it TikTok or Instagram? TikTok, I think. Yeah,
both.
There's loads of different ways that you can reduce heat spike as well. So yeah, just take a little look at that. But main thing is obviously just to not be applying your gel too thick. If your client is feeling a lot of discomfort, they can take their hand out ever so slightly and then just move it in slower. Using your lamp on low heat mode as well, that's a really good one. So yeah, loads of different things that you can do to avoid heat spike.
Perfect. And we've got a question here. I've started using Pure Build on me. However, the last couple of times I've used them, they've cracked. Is Pure Foundation better?
It's not better. I wouldn't say the better is the word. I think it's just, again, what suits your nails. So I mentioned earlier, if people, sorry, there's someone else just joined and the whole screen just went. Yeah, it's not better and it is neutral. It depends on your nail type. It depends on all types of things. So if you're experiencing I imagine that you probably have more flexible bendy nails like I do, and you need something that's moving with your nail rather than something that's sat on top of your nail with some flex but not a lot of flex. So you're probably going to get along a little bit better with Pure Foundation. If you're wanting to, there's a link somewhere on this chat with the oh my gosh, prescriptive manicure blog. So have a little look at that and you can kind of go through what products are recommended for which types of nails.
But I'm gonna pop that back in here again, just so that everyone's got it. To
I don't know what it is, but the blur just makes me look like I've got no ears.
some people paid to have the earpiece
Yeah.
put back. So it's not a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing.
Here and hold them.
Try and send it everywhere. I don't want to do a direct message. Right, so next question we've got loads of questions flooding in. We will get round to them all. I absolutely promise. Absolutely promise. Okay. Now, this is one we don't get very often, but I feel like it is good to address this question, especially. This might be a really silly question. No question is a silly question to begin with. Again, knowledge is power, and knowledge is here to be shared. So Hannah has asked, is it likely that I will have to check out products? Well, she's just started building a HONA collection before taking clients, just to set the scene. Is it like that I'll have to check out products? Will they go off, or do they need a good mix?
I would say your builders, if they're sat for too long without being used, yes, they will need a good mix. I tend to find, because they've got the pigment in them in comparison to like the sort of feel of the gel, the pigment will fall to the bottom. So I just tend to turn my bottle upside down, leave it overnight. The next morning then I'll get my little spatula in there and I'll stir it all up, give it a really good mix. There are machines out there that you can buy, I think, that will shake up your bottles for you as well. Gel polishes, though, they do tend to keep their pigment quite even throughout, so I wouldn't worry too much about those. The gels themselves have a 24-month what's the thing I'm thinking of?
Life?
Yes, that's it. I couldn't think of the word then. I was thinking of, you know, the image of the pot opening on
the little diagram.
Little diagram. So obviously that is there because it needs to be there. But well, to be honest, I probably do go through them quicker than that. But you will find that there are some colours that you don't use all that often. In which case maybe just like holding off and waiting until like oh my god, my words are not working today. Waiting until the season that you're going to get them. So say, for example, you're not going to buy a glittery Christmas red in the middle of February for, you know, and then have it sat on your shelf for the entire year. Wait until a little bit closer to the time, because you can guarantee you'll get through a bottle of Christmas no matter what anyway.
I think another thing which is really important to cover with things like this is storage.
Yeah.
Obviously storing your bottles in a shaded area. We get lots of people sort of stack those on a shelf, like by their salon window. As we know, the sun gives off UVs and UVs can cure, which again, you want to make sure that you're stocking them. So if, for example, if you have got colours that you don't use all year round, like Charlotte said, like your red glitters, you could pop them in a drawer, just pop them away, and you would probably find that when it comes around to using them, it'll be a lot easier for you. And next we got, I'm currently an educator in training. Congratulations,
Yay.
Sarah. That's the things we love to hear. What are the steps for becoming a HONA educator?
So we've got an application form on the website. So if you go under, I think it's under the education tab, there's a little thing that you can click on that says apply to be an educator. It will ask you to fill out some details, be as specific as you can as well, like in the sort of information boxes, like it will ask you, you know, why you want to be a HONA educator, and that's your time to sort of shine and let us know what it is that you can bring to the table. Sell yourself. And then that'll come through to me and I'll arrange a phone call with you and we'll have a little chat. Criteria is that you're an existing HONA user. All of our students, we want them to get kind of like the best information possible, and it's important that all of our educators are very like competent in using the products and know exactly which products are good for what, and you know, kind of know what the prescriptive manicure process is and stuff like that. So if you aren't kind of like an existing HONA user, it doesn't mean it's a no, it just means that maybe we need to revisit that at a later time, when you've had time to like really get your teeth stuck into the HONA products and kind of like how to use them. But apart from that, that's really probably the only kind of major criteria really, is that you're able to use HONA, and that's it really. And we'll kind of talk about, you know, your teaching experience. You'll get invited to train with us as well if you're successful in getting the role. So you'll be trained again in how we want you to teach and kind of ripple that information down to the students, and kind of equip you with all the tools that you need to teach the HONA way. So that's the process in a nutshell, really.
Perfect. We all know Sarah is definitely a HONA user.
I don't think there's any doubt there.
And Amber has asked, would you be introducing a polygel?
A what gel?
A polygel.
Oh, a polygel. Oh, I don't know.
The list of things that we are creating is as long as my arm. So we do have a lot of things in the pipeline. Polygel, I feel like we may have had some samples of, but it's not sort of like top of the list at the moment. There's a lot of other things that we want to bring to you guys that we feel are like more ready to sort of be shared before then.
I love how careful.
I like, how do I like how yeah.
Other things that are
Slightly more. I know.
so funny. It's like watching a politician
I
trying
know.
at a debate or something.
I'm sweating. I'm like, what can I say? What can I not?
Oh, and okay, this goes on to the next one, which again, it might be a little bit touchy. Would you ever introduce your own brand of tools, e-file, drill bits, and if so, the training for them?
I can again neither confirm nor deny. Tools and e-file bits is something that I myself am very passionate about. We all love prep. I think prep is, you know, one of our favorite parts of providing the nail service. And until we have, you know, something that I am 100% behind, back in, that can compete with every other incredible tool market that are out there at the moment. Yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh, I wonder how people are going to interpret
No,
that by
I
the
know.
end of this, by the end of the Zoom.
You'd be like, oh,
It
yeah,
makes
guess
it
what,
say,
Holmes?
Oh, brilliant. Oh, this is quite a nice one, actually. What would you recommend for a baby boomer as a pure foundation mix?
Oh, that's a good one. Maybe I got one at the moment.
Definitely Swan as your tip.
Swan and like
Depends
Kutch.
whether you like how like pinky you want your boomer.
Yeah, I think any color with Swan would be fine. I think it depends because like everybody's got their own version of like their perfect base for a manicure.
Yeah.
So
Pastel, I think, is a really good one, actually, like off the top of my head, because that's been really popular in my salon.
yeah. Like I like really nice, like cool undertones, whereas some people love like much warmer pink. So I
Yeah.
think any kind of pink, it's not very helpful of me, but any kind of pink with Swan would be lush. So yeah.
Perfect. And here we go. Sorry, Damon, just getting around to your replies. We were talking about your content. I feel like this has been ages ago. You should be pleased with yourself. You should be giving yourself a pat on the back or a glass of wine, whatever switch away. Oh, I quite like this one. As a newbie to products, what would I need to get started?
Trial kit.
Yeah, definitely a trial kit.
Yeah, we do the 2 versions of trial kits now. So, you know, if in doubt, get both, because like, you know, we've sort of mentioned throughout the Zoom, it's all about prescriptive manicures. So you can either have the trial kit for the pure build, or you can have the trial kit for the pure foundation. So you get a really, really good solid sort of like base of products and everything that you will need there to create your full manicure basically. And you can sort of see what you like, and yeah, it's a really sort of good way to try everything.
Yeah. Can you confirm as well, are you new to HONA or are you new point blank to nails? Because that would change my answer a little bit as well.
Yeah.
So let me know whether you're new or whether you're new to HONA. And then we can give more advice.
Perfect. Oh, this is another question that we've had a lot of as well. Should you never use a base coat under pure foundation, or would it give extra retention?
So for me personally, the only time that I would use a base coat as such would be using the clear pure foundation. Because again, as Guy was saying earlier, I pointed to her because she's over that side on my screen. As Guy was saying earlier, you know, you kind of want to keep products with products, so like that family all together. And the only reason that I would use a clear pure foundation underneath would be if we were saying, you know, if people are feeling heat spikes, for example, that's a really good way to sort of almost give that base coat first, so that then when you're putting that sort of structured pigmented layer on top, then it's going to cause less of a heat spike. It's going to be far more comfortable. But yeah, that for me would be the only reason that I would use a base coat with it, really, because it's got it built in.
Also,
people use
didn't want to use a base coat. Pure Bond, exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, Pure Bond is absolutely fantastic. It's our universal primer. We sort of recommend that under a lot of things. Don't
Yeah,
we, really.
yeah. Pure Bond, again, I think there's a blog about Pure Bond. It can be used for so many things. Like for me personally, if there's like just that tiny little bit of lifting, bit of Pure Bond in there, then seals the deal.
Perfect. Do you know, I feel like Pure Bond is like one of those products that just like dropped from heaven and just fell into our lap.
Yeah.
I feel like, so we've had such amazing feedback. Another product we've had insane feedback from. It's been a game changer. It has been an absolute game changer. Oh, I love this one. It's not a question as such, but it's just a little bit of positivity. It says, hey guys, I love the new shades of Pure Foundation, the best brand. So happy to be associated with HONA. And that's Heather from Aberdeenshire. Educator. Thank you.
Love you, Heather.
Oh, that's absolutely lush. So let's have a look. There's one here that says, what shall we put on and where? I'm not sure what that relates to, because we've answered a few questions since then, but I'm guessing that was a comment catching up to an answer. So Leslie, if you could sort of expand on that one, we can then further expand on it too. There we go. So we got another one here, and it's a more of a comment, which is lovely. Recently switched over from a brand, used Pure Foundation. And sorry, we used Pure Foundation for the first time on Saturday as soon as it came through the door, and I love the application. It is like butter.
It is. That's a really good description, like buttery. Yeah,
It
that-
really is.
accurate. And to remove it as well, if you haven't done a removal, yeah, dream to remove.
Again, beautiful.
Fab. Oh, Amber has asked, is this meeting showing the prep routine?
We are not doing any like live demos in this meeting today, but I think there's quite a few different videos that we've got up on like our YouTube and things like that in regards to like prep routine.
Just done one as well with the Pure Foundation colours. So, and all the prep on there is all the prep is on there as well, is what I meant to say. My sentence came out backward. So that should be on the Knowledge Hub.
It is, yeah. And there's quite a lot on the Knowledge Hub. We've got video and a guide that is how to etch like a pro, which is something that obviously, like we've said throughout this whole live, is that prep is, you take a lot of pride in it. And there's also, for the Pure Foundation video that is on YouTube, and it's also on the website, you've got, Guy has done a fantastic video from start to finish of your prep, your application, really thorough. It's nice, it's quite short and sweet as well, so you're not going to be sat there for half an hour watching it. I think it's about 8 minutes long, I think, is it, Guy? 5 to 8 minutes. It's not long at all.
Yeah, it's a real quick one, but
Really quick, really easy. Perfect. I'm gonna put my glasses on because guys, you won't see me squinting anymore now. You're not proud to know. I know. They're usually terrible, and especially if you come on the lives. And I know because when you read the comments, they're so tiny, and I do literally have to squint like that. But fear no
No.
more, my eyes have been saved.
She got the glasses.
And my David said that video makes me howl when Mike comes in and none tries to take over. Yeah, it happens most time.
I've had so many comments recently in my DMs about like, will me and Mike start doing the lives again? Because everyone just used to kill themselves laughing about
Love
our
it.
little lives.
I love that.
Like, honestly.
Oh, it's
It'll be
great.
Charlotte doing some sort of tutorial and Mike's like, fun fact.
Yeah. By the way, guys.
That was
I was
that
just like,
was
okay,
it to a T.
yeah.
That was it to a T. It was like he was in the room for
Yeah.
a second.
I'm half expecting him to pop up the stairs now. But like, have you done this?
Little jump scare.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I've laughed this much in a life before. Oh, brilliant. Oh, now this, I was speaking to this lady earlier. She says, guys, I emailed about my product losing pigment today, and when I took the bottle upside down for a few hours, it was back to normal. Fabulous, 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 fabulous. We do recommend obviously screwing your lid on really, really tightly and popping the bottle upside down for a fair few hours. If not, if you want to do it overnight, if that's easier for you, you've got to use the product the next day. Absolutely fine. Tip it back up, give it a stir, and then just let it all sit properly for a couple of, but maybe like an hour or so, as a minimum. And there we go. The proof's in the pudding then. Talking of pudding, what a lovely shade. Oh, you've got it.
I love it.
I feel like pudding shot this completely as well because it is just it's gonna be the perfect neutral
Oh,
base.
I love it.
It's gorgeous.
I'm a new girl through and through, and like pudding, I'd say, and stone are probably like my favorites because I'm not like pinky. It's got to be like really sheer, like, kind of like dainty, like that's sort of my pink tone. But yeah, give me all the nudes.
And do you know what Mike made a point earlier? It'd be really good for like animal print as a base.
Oh my god, absolutely.
Can you imagine leopard
Yeah,
on that? That would be
absolutely
stunning. That would
stunning.
be absolutely gorgeous. And we're seeing a lot of leopard at the moment. I love leopard print. It is a trend that has sort of come back into 2024, and I just never want it to leave ever, ever, ever,
No.
ever. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm seeing a lot of French at the moment, like leopard print French, with like a touch of colour. And I'm like,
need it.
I feel like leopard might be the new tauting
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
I think it could be. I think it could be. Oh, this is a good question. And it's actually something that was a little bit of a talk in the warehouse today. Are you guys participating in the professional beauty group that will be in Manchester? Would be nice to see you there. We did have a chat about it today. Not a deep chat, it was just sort of briefly mentioned. So we'll have an answer for you soon. We're not going to answer right now, but we will for you soon. And I've got another one. I love when you all have a chat in the chat. It's absolutely great. It's just brilliant. Oh, okay. This is a different one. Will you be looking at new bottles at any point? I find I have to turn my down upside down at the end, and I can still get 3 to 4 sets out of them from what is stuck at the bottom.
That's unusual because one of the things that we did when designing our bottles was actually get one of the longer handles that actually reached down to the bottom. So I'm confused by that, unless you mean like where the pigment's at and then we're just getting the rest of it. But I mean, where the bottle is flat anyway, you're always going to have that tiny little bit of residue at the bottom that if you obviously turn to the side, it will all pool. But yeah, one of the main things that we did when designing the bottles was go for the longer brush handle, just so that didn't happen.
Always marry up your bottles afterwards. So just like when you get your new whatever shade, just like tip your upside down and any remainder can go in the new bottle or whatever. I always keep like whatever little drips and drabs I have for like the next bottle of whatever I'm going to get, and I can make sure I'm getting the most out of it as well. I don't think there's ever going to be like the perfect bottle that you can have like every single ounce out of. But like Charles said, we've made the brushes longer so you can at least like reach.
It's like foundation bottles, isn't it? Some bottles you can get right down to the bottom, which are plastic, and 9 times out of 10 the plastic bottles you can. But glass ones, with foundation especially, I'm like that. We put out with a brush.
Yeah.
Amber's made a really good point. Like we've just mentioned now, I always get another bottle and decanter my new one when I've used it a bit, and then I'm not wasting.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Perfect,
I just
perfect.
want to touch on that as well, because perfect that you said that you've decanted it into the newer bottle, because there are some videos online that I've seen of people decanting it into like the clear pots and then just labeling the pots. But you know, the reason why these bottles are coloured is just so that UV light can't penetrate them, and obviously if they're in a clear pot, you've got all that UV exposure. So yeah, make sure that obviously you keep your old bottle, use a little bit of your new one, and then you can decant the rest into that newer bottle. Then that's absolutely fine too.
There was that phone stand little hack as well, wasn't
Yeah,
there?
I saw that. It was adorable.
So cool. That is really cool.
I would have saved if I'd known, if I thought to do that. Because I'd
Yeah.
always like have one bottle upright and then be balancing the other one on top.
Oh, I did that.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
But again, just make sure that when you're doing that, keep it away from any UV exposure, because you don't want that, you know, getting
Yeah,
going in.
be very sad.
Yes, you don't want the gel compromised.
Sarah said, don't do what I did recently and throw your new top coat in the bin instead of the old one.
No, I hope you went in and fished it out. I would have.
Chasing after the bin
Oh.
man if it was me.
I wouldn't care what state the bin was in at that point. I'm like, I'd be having my gloves on,
Yeah.
marigolds on, I'd be in there, no
Get it
problem
back.
at all. Someone actually posted in the community, it was a couple of weeks ago now, that they got 66 sets out of their top coat.
Oh wow.
Out of their top coat. That's insane. Absolutely insane. They did like a tally on the side of the bottle to
I
just to
love
make sure
that.
that they properly counted. Yeah, it was really cool, really cool.
Amazing.
There's another one. Yeah. Lynn said, I need to crack on with my AET. The kittens took up all my time,
Oh.
but they're so worth it because they're absolutely adorable. They are just lovely. The one I had, I said to Lynn, I said, send me photos. And if I get photos, yes, I did. I had kitten heaven for like a week. It was, they were gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Gemma has said, get that hard gel out, girls.
Oh, again, I can neither confirm nor deny, Gemma. Like I say, I've got a list as long as my arm.
There is always something cooking here, I think, is what we've gathered. We sort of go, oh, and then this, and this, and
Yeah.
this. And I do, someone said in the community the day, said, who are dropping all these hints in the community? Don't shoot the messenger. But you know, I've got to say what I got to say sometimes. Got to keep you all excited.
Yeah.
So I always like to give you a little bit of a spoiler. Not so much spoilers, but a little tease as such.
You're all on your
So
toes.
yeah. So yeah, this thing's coming. We're listening to you.
Yeah.
We're listening to you. Every time someone actually puts something new in the community, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, no.
It could be something really, really like random, like water bottle, HONA water bottle. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, no problem. This people have spoken.
Yeah.
Oh, please give a hint of something.
I've given so many hints already.
My nipper's broke. Please tell me I'm making them.
Not in time for your next client, babe.
No. Good answer. That was a really good answer. I like that. Brilliant.
I love some of them.
That's who's a cuticle oil. Silence speaks louder than words. Oh god. Oh. So someone did say on the live on Friday, pure oil, and me and Morgan went, what?
Oh,
Oh,
God.
goodness me.
Making me feel uncomfortable. A little bit stuffy.
I don't know if someone's like got a camera or a microphone or like a drone over our warehouse. You guys like guess everything. It's absolutely unreal. You guys are so clever. You've got to
It's
give
like
them
a
credit.
HONA community member leaking all the information.
Supposed to.
Could you imagine? Oh gosh, oh bless him. He's really sweet. The man.
Dropping all our secrets.
Oh dear. Okay. So
I know my cheek was
it hurts.
moving.
Everything hurts.
I'm so warm now.
Oh goodness.
It's literally like a sauna. I'm in the summer
Oh.
house at the bottom of the garden and it's so weltering hot in here. And the
Brilliant,
laugh
yeah.
makes it really hot as well.
Yeah.
When you guys are saying like things about really being released and suggestions and whatnot, I feel like I'm blushing, like I'm like you're flirting with us.
Yeah.
That's how I feel, like you're just having a bit of a flirt.
Stop.
Oh, it's brilliant. Nicola said, starting to move to HONA, what colours do you recommend to start your collection?
I would recommend starting off with some primary colours. So get your reds, your blues, your yellows, and then you can make endless colours with those. So start off with nice bold primary colours and a black and a white, and then you can darken those colours, lighten those colours, and then build your collection up slowly from there.
And we have a perfect palette for you to do that with as well.
Yeah.
Yes, and a blog, believe it or not.
And a blog all about colour theory, absolutely.
Colour theory blog.
Where there is a product, there is a blog.
Absolutely.
Which I think is the beauty of it actually, because education I think should be accessed at all times, especially when you're doing your research, if you're changing over to brands, if you're newly starting out, and whatever your position is as a nail tech, I think it's really important to have that education in the palm of your hands where you can go to it whenever you want. You can save the blogs, you can save the YouTube videos, and then obviously as well, not to forget, we have got the one-to-one page too. So if there's anything that you're struggling with, anything that you want some extra guidance with, we've got a free one-to-one education form that you can fill out, and our lovely Gaia can take you through it on a phone call or a video call, do that troubleshooting, ask you all the questions that we need to ask, and make sure that we're supporting you in the best way possible, which is a really nice feature that we got in place too. So education is really easy, accessible with us, which is peace of mind for you when you're sort of investing into a brand as well. Damon has made really good point here. I put a clear coat of pure foundation under my color pure foundation. I know my client will change their color the next app. Easy to file down to that layer and change.
That's really good then. So you're not having to do a complete soak off. You can almost, just file off that colour and do a fresh colour of pure foundation.
And something that we always sort of try to allow to keep in mind is checking the nail health. Going back to how many times you should infill, like Gary said, maximum of 2 to 3 times. One of the main elements of that is because you want to be checking the nail health underneath, making sure clients' nails are nice and healthy. Living by that safer, smarter, stronger way of doing things. And then we've got another question from, do you know what? I was going to say from iPhone. Obviously, you've got a name and it's not going to be iPhone. Do you know when you guys are restocking the desk mat in black?
That would be one for Sarah.
That is one for Sarah. I'm not overly sure on that. I tell you what, I will find out and I will let you know tomorrow. I'll pop it in the community and the answer will be in there tomorrow at some point for you. Oh, Nicola's putting on pudding now. Oh, I love that.
Delicious.
I love that. Oh, Steph has said, thank you guys. I'm going to dip in and out as I'm quite poorly, but this has been very informative. I will be ordering trial kit tonight.
Remember to put in the notes, free gel
polish,
and
gel
you'll get
polish.
an extra one in there.
Perfect. And I hope you feel better soon. There's lots of people quite poorly at the moment.
There's loads going
Yeah.
around.
They've I know they've closed 2 wards in the hospital local to us with COVID.
Oh.
And I know quite a few people that have, I was speaking to a lady on email the other day and she said she's got COVID, and we sort of forget about it, but it does still exist, unfortunately. How many years on? 4 years on?
Crazy, isn't
It is sad.
I hope you feel better.
Oh, there we go. Now, what should we put on and where? All right, it was mentioned if we make an order, we could put a phrase. Perfect. Yes. So if you make an order over £20 between the end of the live and midnight tonight, just pop a little note on there that says free gel polish, and we will give you a free gel polish. So that's that one to answer that for you. Sorry. And I'm sorry it's taken us so long to get back round to it as well. And someone's also put the photo in. Amber's put the photo in of the phone
Love
holder. Insane. Absolutely insane.
So good.
It looks like a game more than anything. It just looks really fun, doesn't it? I'm very, very easily pleased by these sorts of things. Great. Oh, good question. Is the plastic cover on the top of the bottle recyclable at all? I feel like it's always a lot of unnecessary plastic. Otherwise, I really love the packaging though, and it's so sleek. I hope it can be recycled.
Yes, it can.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
The bottom of the bottle is glass, so just remember that. But all the rest of the components are plastic.
I also love this one. I use the extra cap as a holder for my art brushes.
Oh, that's clever.
Such a cool idea. That is such a cool idea. Haley has asked, is there any chance of a PDF color chart? We actually had a conversation about colors, and it's because we're expanding our gel polish range
Yeah.
so much. PDF would probably be the better option, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? Because it could be changeable.
Yeah. Because we've been asked so many times about like swatch books and things like that, but as I just said, you know, we are constantly sort of expanding it like every season. So yeah, you know, we've got art gels and also the different polishes. So they would constantly be like the need to update it. So yeah, PDF would be good actually.
That's a really good idea. That will be going in my notes. Thank you. Thank you, Haley. You guys are cracking me up. So funny this evening. Oh, do you know, I feel like lives are so much fun, and obviously we usually have like a guest person in on the Business Masteries, which they've been going since August now. We've done them since August. So what we're going to try and do is sort of do maybe one every half year, every quarter. We haven't quite sort of had a conversation as such about it with HONA. Because there's so many people, the amount of people that are actually becoming more qualified lately as well. There's constantly new nail techs on the scene. So we will try and do sort of this, whether it's every quarter, every 4 months. No, that's a third, isn't it? The 4 months.
Yeah.
Thirdly, quarterly, whatnot. We will try and get us all on a Zoom as well, because we've always got lots of questions, and it's just nice to be able to talk to us. We don't do it often enough, I will say. And Amber said, Charlotte, can I see your nails close up for the pure foundation you've got pudding on?
Oh, delicious.
Gosh.
A little bit grown out now,
just
but she's
let
still
her.
gorge.
Love to eat. But I would.
And Amber said, I'm struggling with not getting my top coat smooth as well. Having to wipe it over. I'm not going to say that number. Blah, 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 so many times. To get it smooth. Why would this be?
Wipe off your inhibition layer. So whatever you've done, whether it's like nail art or block color, or even if it's just plain builder, the inhibition layer or the tacky layer can kind of interrupt the top coat a little bit. You can still brush your top coat over it, you don't have to, but I would say, like, especially for people that are new to HONA, you might just find giving it a little wipe with alcohol, waiting for it to fully dry, and then going with your top coat will be a little bit easier for you.
Yeah, use that floating technique as well with your top coat, because a little bit goes a long way, but you just need like literally no pressure, like tiniest of touches, and just float that top coat down. And well, you've seen some of the pictures online, like the shine of it is unbelievable. So yeah, just getting that application perfect is the best way. So just really, really light feather touch, float it on.
Not like you do your builder gel. I've
No.
had some say
No, not like
not,
this.
not this, just like a nice light touch.
Really, really light touch. Like that's what I mean. Barely touching it, just
The only reason is I've said about floating your top coat and they're like, oh, so like float your top coat. I'm like, oh, no.
no, as in, like don't touch it. Put it on, barely touch it, just super light pressure.
The way that I describe it is the gel on your brush touching the gel on your
Yeah.
nail.
Yeah.
So you're not using your bristles, it's just this
Yeah.
little bit of gel that should be touching the nail, not the bristles.
Yeah, perfect.
And Gemma has said, I've just thought of something. I really miss the non-wipe matte top coat. Would you consider offering both back?
So the only reason that we changed it is
perfectly.
because a lot of people were saying that they were getting yellowing with it, especially on like the lighter colours. So we found a new formula where you do wipe the inhibition off at the end. It lasts so much better in like the non-yellowing of it. So yeah, it would. I don't think we would offer both, unfortunately.
Oh, someone has really kindly shared the HONA full list of gel polishes and detail paints. Oh, that's so kind. Why so kind? I did do the colour names in Dutch, but I think you can understand it. I do want to start looking on that Duolingo app, though. I do want to learn a new language. So this could be our
Should be speaking Dutch.
opportunity. Oh, fab. Gemma, that's okay. Still love you. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And that's all the questions pretty much. If you have got any more questions, ask them now. Yeah, if you have got, like I said, any more questions, just ask them now whilst we're here. We have been on for an hour and a half almost, which it flies by, doesn't it?
That
It literally
sounds
does
so
fly by.
quick.
I know, it's absolutely crazy.
Amazing.
But if you don't have any more questions, don't forget to make your orders. Don't forget £20 plus. Here we go. My gel manicure French smile line is not as good at the acrylics as anything experts can recommend to achieve that perfect freehand smile line.
Yes, there's like honestly 100 ways to do French manicure. I think we've got a video on it as well. Like we've got a video on everything.
Yeah.
So I think it would be good for you to check that out rather than me try and like goof my way into like explaining it using like my hands and all that kind of stuff. We got a little video on it, so that might be worth having a check out. There's also
I know.
Yeah.
This
He's
is
been so good.
one of many HONA mascots that we've got.
he's been such a good boy.
Yeah, he's an angel. He's an actual angel. He's like, he glows when he's in the warehouse.
Give me attention now. It's been an
I
hour and
know,
a
it's
half.
been so long. Another thing that I will say that we do have is we've got a French manicure brush, which we recommend that you use when you've got, if you wanted to practice for French, basically.
Yeah, it's really good.
Really good.
I loved my long liner brush, and it's just all about like making sure that you have that steady hand. Like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but making sure that like you anchor yourself down, you're not just sort of like freewheeling it up in the air. You really want to get a good solid, anchor down just to make sure that you're really nice and steady. If you're still a little bit unsure of like sort of where you're gonna start and finish on either side, just put 2 tiny little dots, making sure that they're even, and at least then you've got some guide as well. But like I said, there's a million and one different ways that you can do French. So yeah, we won't bore you and go into everything.
Yeah, not all of them, but definitely like one of my favorites is, like Charles said, a dot on either side of the sidewalls, which is your high point as to how high up your French smile line is going to go. A dot in the center, so following the cuticle straight down to the free edge, put a little dot right there. and then another little dot right above it on how deep you want your French smile line to be, and then just marry those lines together.
That's
Um,
the dots, guys.
Dots. And then another way is like the squeegee method, where you basically paint on just like a block of white and then use like a cleanup brush to like squeegee away the line in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
But there's a tutorial, so you definitely will get a better visual rather than me trying to say.
Damon says, I do love my 80mm brush.
It is good. It is. I think like for a beginner, I would say don't go too long with your brush and don't go too short with your brush, because too long you can
A
kind
good
of like,
balance.
yeah, you can kind of lose control a little bit of the brush, and then too short is going to give you wibbly wobblies because it's not long enough to follow the line through.
Yeah.
So 12 is good. 18 if you're a pro like Damon.
The king of French over there.
Oh, Hannah's just asked, you know the cleanup for French, do you just use a dry brush without adding any alcohol or acetone?
So yeah, I wouldn't say dry. I kind of like would like to run it through like something, but then like let that dry, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like there's dry and then there's like dry.
Yeah.
I would like,
bare bones.
yeah, we don't want like all the bristles like interrupting it. So I kind of like wet it with like alcohol, kind of shape it a little bit,
Yeah.
wipe it off, and sometimes I'll even run it through a little bit of clear gel, like clear base coat, and that will kind of give you that form that you can kind of drag the brush through in one swoop. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird
Perfect.
bit.
Perfect. Okay. I think that is all the questions now. What I've loved is every question has been different.
Yeah.
Which has been fantastic. So I feel like if you had a question and it might have already been asked and whatnot, but yeah, we've just covered a lot of things here. Obviously, such a lovely live and brand. I'm squinting. I've got glasses on my head. I've forgotten already.
What's your excuse?
Such a lovely live and brand. I love the ethos. So happy I switched to you guys.
Well, thank you so
Aw,
much. We really
you.
appreciate it. Honestly, like we really do appreciate you guys so much. You know, it doesn't go unnoticed.
Not
Oh,
at
oh, you
all.
guys, they're all so cute.
I
know.
know.
I'm like crying with laughter. Look at me getting the Kleenex out now in a minute.
I'm getting a bit fragile. I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna go on YouTube.
Oh, we love you too. Honestly, we do absolutely adore everyone. And this is one of the reasons why we put these things together. Business Masteries. We've covered social media and we've covered branding, we've covered photography, we've covered all different parts and elements to your business so we can give back to help you and build you and to be the best nail tech you can be, because you invest in us, and that's just one way we can say thank you to you. So yeah, we love doing these together so that we can basically give back to you exactly what you give to us. I mean, it's a nice thing to do. You scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of thing. But not only that, I think it's just important that you get the support from every element from us as a brand as well. So thank you to everyone. We couldn't do these if it wasn't for you. So if anything, you need to be giving yourselves a big pat on the back and say thank you. Thank you to yourself for being a nail tech. But yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to wrap it up now. If you sort of joined halfway through, same as normal, it'll be uploaded to YouTube, hopefully by the end of the week. If not by the end of the week, it'll be into the beginning of next week. And yeah, don't forget to make your orders. And thank you all so much.
Thank you guys. It's been an absolute
See you
pleasure.
soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye, 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 bye. Oh, good night. I keep forgetting it's night time. It's like, come on, we need to go home.